Quick little introduction of myself. Played at Texas A&M Kingsville. It's a Division II school down in Texas, real small school, but the football quality there was pretty legit. We have the most NFL recruits out of that school, out of Division II. So we take pride in that. I played with Chandler Hill. Coach Nate Popple's not here, but he was our quarterback and whatnot. Like he said, I know on the internet it said I was going to do speed and agility, which I've done, so that you can check those videos out when they get posted. I'll be hanging around here for the next few days, so you can come and talk to me, ask me questions about speed and agility. And I don't know if you saw me flipping through, but I also had speed and agility, but along with that I had static and dynamic stretching, proper warm-ups and proper cool-downs, treating your bodies right and making sure we avoid injury and things like that. If we're injured, we can't play. Today I'll be doing stock blocking. I'll be going over the ABCs. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel on how to block somebody. I'm just really trying to break it down to the T so where you can take it home to your athletes, to your club, and you guys can be very successful in the run blocking game, especially in the open field. It's a lot different than playing in the trenches. A lot of things are still the same, but it's different when you're approaching a very agile defensive back or even a linebacker. So we'll cover that. For some of you guys, if you don't know English as well, or if I talk too fast, slow me down. Hey, coach, can you repeat that? Can you break it down some more? And I'll do my best to do that for you, okay? If we need someone to translate, coaches, help me out. But here we go. So, stock blocking. Why do we need to do it? If we want to have a very successful run game, especially having long runs, the only way to have a long touchdown run is to have downfield blocking. If our receivers don't get on a man, they're really a waste of jersey. Okay, they're a waste of body on the field. We need our outside perimeter guys getting on a body downfield, getting into a fight for about 2-3 seconds until our running back can hit the lane, and then he can break off for a nice 40, 50, 70-yard run. If we don't have downfield blocking, it's going to be very hard to have those long runs. And if we have long runs, that's a good momentum turn, and that really shuts down the defense's mindset. Along with that, there's probably a lot of defensive coaches in here. There's a lot of defensive guys here. It's really good to know your opponent, all right? So what I'm teaching is not saying this is the only way to block, but this is a very good general way of blocking downfield. So if you know what your opponent's trying to do, now you can defeat your opponent. So I think it goes both for defensive and offensive side of the ball. Okay, first slide. Again, we're doing the ABCs. First letter of the alphabet is letter A, okay? Alignment. What that includes is knowing the play. What are we trying to do? Are we trying to run the ball inside? Are we trying to run the ball outside? Are we trying to run off tackle? Okay? Are we trying to maybe run a quick bubble screen? Right? We're trying to get the ball to the edge or whatnot. Know the play. Don't expect the guy who's carrying the ball to do everything himself. Don't expect the quarterback to do everything himself. As a receiver or a tight end or a stand-up tight end, we need to know the play. Are we trying to run the ball inside? We're trying to run the ball outside? What are we trying to do? Just real quick on these pictures, I posted them up. I'll get videos for eventually, and next time I was kind of just last second kind of thrown to do this presentation, so I can only get pictures. But what I mean by know the playing concept is on alignment is know where you're at and know who you need to block. So say we need to get these two guys, right? Inside receiver, the 3 receiver needs to get this backer, and our 2 guy needs to get the safety. Well, understand, if we're trying to run the ball inside the tackles, I need to know that I need to cut him off. I can't just run at him. It's gonna open the gate, and he's gonna be able to shoot the gap and make the play, especially for this guy, all right? If I take a step up, I'm losing the battle. If I take a step laterally, I have a chance. Know the play, know your alignment, so we can set ourselves up for, to have a chance, all right? Say we're in the stack formation. This is a very unique formation. Still, if I need to go get the safety who's inside of me, I cannot come up the field. It's not going to work. I have to take an angle step or a lateral step just to get inside. Now, what if we're running the ball outside? Okay, this is the offense side of the ball. We're trying to run outside. Well, now I don't need to come inside. I can take a vertical step or even an outside step to get that outside leverage. Know the play concept, what we're trying to get the ball, and where we need to be. With that being said, stance and start needs to stay the same. We see it all the time as coaches. It's a run play, receivers show up to the line, and they look bored because they're not going to get the ball. and they don't want to go block for their boy. And DBs, you see it all the time, right? The next play is a pass play. Now they're low, they're tugging on their gloves. You just told everybody what the hell is going to happen. Okay, keep it the same. As a receiver or tight end, look the same on your stance and start. Okay, it needs to be like you're going to get the ball, you're ready to go block, you're ready to go distract somebody, you're ready to play some football. Okay. Also with the play concept, like I said earlier, know the leverage. If I got to get inside, I need to know how much inside is my guy. If this guy's going to block the corner, well, he has inside leverage. If he needs to go block the safety has a good 2, 3, 4 yards of leverage on him, okay? So know leverage. If we don't know what leverage is, that term, all it means is, let's look at right here, for instance, okay? These guys pretty much have, the back has a tiny bit of outside leverage. The only reason why it's outside is because of the way his body's positioned, and he might be slightly outside shade. So he has outside leverage. He probably wants to force this guy inside somewhere. Let's look at this safety right here. Say the backer has a tight end, or maybe the actual running back, and he has to pick up number 3. He has inside leverage. He's inside him a couple yards. Okay, leverage can be manipulated. Just because he's showing that leverage doesn't mean that's where he wants to be. He might pop out as soon as the ball snapped and then gain outside leverage. Okay, so there's a pre-snap read, there's a post-snap read. Don't expect the quarterback to do everything in his head. As receivers, offensive guys, we need to know, we need to be able to read too. So find your key, find your read, play with your eyes. That's the best muscle in your body. I know you German people are very huge, very big, strong, but if you don't know how to use this muscle, your eyes, your vision, it won't get your body there, right? You don't play football with your eyes closed. You have to see what you're going to do. So already kind of go through the play in your head, depending on the leverage, depending on the alignment, use your eyes to have a game plan. Now, post-snap, if they float, well, your eyes will see that and then send messages to your brain, will get your body to move, okay? So find your key, find your read. It could be as far as perimeter blocking. It can be the D end sometimes. We might wash him down, okay? Or come down with a blindside hit. Most of the time, it's just DBs, safeties, and outside linebackers. Okay, for the most part, those are the big 3 that we need to worry about on perimeter blocking. Sometimes it can be the D end. Okay, and if we're going to block a D end, you wouldn't use a receiver like me, right? You're going to want to use a bigger type guy to handle that type of battle. Okay. Last thing about alignment, make sure we take the correct angle. Okay. Again, if he needs to get this guy, and we're trying to run the ball off tackle, don't run to his outside hip. He's going to have a free lane to go make that play. We need to take a correct angle to kick him out. If he needs to go get the safety and we're trying to run off tackle, he cannot afford to come up vertical. This guy's going to shoot the gap and make the play. We need to take maybe 2, 3 inside lateral steps just to cut him off and then make a play pushing him out. So any questions on alignment? Letter A, no. All right, if you come up with something later, go for it and ask. Next slide. All right, letter A. B. B stands for breakdown. Okay, so we've already gone to the line of scrimmage. We're getting set. We already going through the play in our head with our eyes. We saw our leverage. We saw our key, our read, whether it's a safety or linebacker. Now it's time to get on them, to get our body on a body. All right. Now we cannot just go in there like a bull, right? We can't just get ready to go and I'm going to blow this guy up. You run in there like a bull. DBs, what do you do at the last second? Swim move him. He's on the ground. Waste the jersey, and you guys make the play. Okay, so you got to be fast. You got to be physical, yes, but you got to break down. Now, what the breakdown consists of, at about 3 to 5 yards. Okay, the younger your athletes are, the closer they can be, about 3 yards, right? The older we are, the bigger, the stronger guys. Say you have a 6'6" receiver coming out. Well, he can probably start breaking down at 5 yards. Why? Because he has longer arms. He has a bigger body. And obviously, we're playing against better competition. So we need a little bit more yardage of breakdown to happen. So 3 to 5 yards. This guy's already probably about 2 steps into his breakdown, and he's still about maybe 2.5 yards away. Okay? Main thing about breakdown is having a wide base. Who's this guy right here? Odell Beckham, right? He's not known for blocking. He's known for scoring touchdowns and dancing. We get it. But he's still practicing on it. Look at that wide base he has. Because he has a wide base, he has a chance to fight in this battle. Okay? My man, stand up real quick. Use you as an example. Stand right here. All right? I want you to put your feet together. Right? Feet together. See a lot of young guys come up. They want to block. They forget about their base. I barely touched him and he fell over. Right? Now give me a wide base. I'm going to give you a little shock. All right? And now I'm giving an actual punch and he can fight with me. He can actually have a chance. All because he did that. Yes, too, he got lower. That's part of it. But that's the main reason right there. Appreciate it. Okay? Wide base. Wide base, wide base, wide base. Now, we all work out, right? We all do squats. And when you go low and you have a wide base, it burns. Don't expect your 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds to be here all the time. Why? Because they have small muscles. They're not developed yet. Okay? So train them that way. You can start with that with the warm-up. I talked about that in my speed and agility presentations and my dynamic warm-up presentations. You can check that online. But again, don't expect a younger athlete, undeveloped athlete to understand why I need to be a wide base. This is not going to come second nature to them. Older guys, you've been playing for a little bit longer and you've been developed in these muscles. You understand the power behind a wide base. So here's a good image of a wide base. Can't really see his base here from the image, but I'm assuming he does have a decent base. Now, DB has a very good wide base. So just by looking at these two images, he has more power, he has more balance and stability than the receiver, right? But this one is just kind of just to show the breakdown. Okay. Between 3 and 5 yards, you need to start having a wide base and you need to chop your feet to eat up cushion. What is cushion? Coach, stand up. If that's the defensive back that I need to block, he has approximately, I don't have any lines here, but 5 yards of cushion. Take a step up, take 2 steps up. He has 4, 3, scoot up. 2 yards of cushion, back up. 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards of cushion. That's cushion. That's just one of the terms we use in football, okay? Understand what the cushion is. Sometimes pre-snap, you think you have 8 yards of cushion. DB comes straight downhill. You're losing cushion by the second. You got me? So I better get into a wide base and start chopping faster. What if he's 3 yards away? I say hut, and he bails. Well, now he's gaining cushion. He's extending the cushion. So I need to get on him till I get to about 3 to 5 yards to start breaking down. Okay? We all know low pad level wins. Okay? Here's another thing about pad level. Right? My feet are together. Here's my pad level. I start widening my base. What happens to my pad level naturally? It gets lower. Okay? So already by having a wide base, pad level will drop. And there's easy things you can see on film if your athlete is getting his butt whooped, probably because he doesn't have a base and probably because his pad level is way too high. Now, when you're in the breakdown, me and Christoph were having this discussion earlier. All right, they're taught, several athletes are taught to not make the first initial move to the DB. Meaning, as I'm approaching the DB right here, to be patient. Let him pick a side and then engage in the contact, okay? That's not bad. I don't mind that. I have some videos that show where that can lead into some trouble, especially with younger kids that are not strong and can make up for, at the end of the day, it's football. You want to be the hammer. You want to be hitting somebody. You don't want to be taking the hit. So as an older guy, we can probably get away with not being so aggressive. As a younger kid, I want to teach aggression and I want to teach being the hammer every time. Okay? So as you're doing that, as you're chopping with a wide base with a low pad level, you need to mirror the defender. Why? Tim, do you just stand there and let the receiver block you or do you move? You move, right? Sometimes you engage and extend and rip them off, but for the most part, you're trying to not get in a fight so you can go make the tackle. So drills that you can do for this, you start off with them learning a wide base and chopping their feet, eating up cushion in a straight line, right? We always need to work straight lines. But then after a while, at the end of that drill, where you can use a step over pad or a ladder, you add 2 cones and you do a mirror drill. Again, DBs are going to move. So say I had a agility ladder, right? Agility ladder, cut it in half, put it right there, and then I put 2 cones. You have your receiver in a good stance and start. Keep it looking the same. You say hut. They sprint to the ladder. They open up their base, okay? They're low. Once they get to the cone, you have a defender or another offensive player, because you're running drills, start moving side to side, trying to shake me off, right? Trying to get me off balance. Well, I'm just trying to play the mirror game with him. If he moves this way, I'm right there in front of him. He goes that way. If he tries to give me a head bob, I'm moving with him. Just like this right here. Nose to nose, wide base, and you're just eating up cushion, getting into striking distance. Last thing we want to do, we all know this, you don't want to lunge in football because you lose your power, you lose your balance, and you're probably going to end up on the ground. Okay? So you got to mirror the defender as you're breaking down. Now, here's another thing I see with young athletes, even with older athletes too. I call this, because I'm from Texas, grabbing your guns. Grab your guns, right? You got guns right here in your holsters. You want to grab your guns as you eat up the cushion. You see a lot of young guys come up. They might have a wide base, they might be low, but they have their hands out, ready to play patty cake, right? You're not going to hit nobody like that. I want you to be the hammer, not the nail. So as you approach the DB, I want you to grab your guns, ready to shoot your guns. That's going to create some impact. That's going to allow you to pop the DB and get him to cock his head back and maybe put him on his heels. But if you come up like this, you're going to get chopped down, you're going to get pushed to the side, you're going to lose the battle. So, this isn't bad. OBJ right here, he's kind of grabbing his guns, right? He's loaded up a little bit, right? He's going to have some momentum to punch when he finally engages, okay? This guy, maybe not as much. He looks kind of low here. I would like to see him more loaded up so he can really drive through that DB's chest. So, letter B is breakdown, okay? You start breaking down. When you say the table is the DB, this is about 5 yards, I would start breaking down now. Grabbing my gun, staying low, mirroring the guy, and then once I get into striking distance, you make the letter C. Contact, okay? Alignment, breakdown, contact. First thing I have on there, be the hammer, not the nail. You gotta hit him. You gotta shock the DB. Again, we're not playing patty cake. When you engage him, when you make contact, you want to engage squared up. You want to be nose to nose. I know a lot of coaches want to teach, I want you to get to the outside shoulder. Well, when you start cutting somebody in half, meaning getting aside, you leave space for them to go to. Now, if the running back's trying to get outside, and I do that, and I force him in, well, that's not bad. That's a good block for sure. But if you start doing it too soon, he can cut the edge and make that play over here. In college, we used to call it opening the gate. You open the gate, somebody's going to go through the gate. You don't want to open the gate just yet, okay? So be the hammer, not the nail. When you engage, you want to engage nose to nose, nose to nose, nose to nose, okay? And you want to deliver a solid punch or strike. How are we going to do that? We got to grab our guns so we can shoot our guns. You come up like this, you're going to get chopped down. There's no power in this. There's more power here. You want your elbows to stay inside, just like when we block as linemen. Tight to the body. Grab your guns here, not out here. That's weaker and slower. You want to be here and strike from the inside. It's always a battle to who can get their hands inside. You're stronger, you're more powerful, and you're more in control when you do that, okay? So, this is actually a pretty good example. He didn't necessarily win the battle, but look at his hand. You can tell his hand is inside 23's arm, just a little bit. You can see his arm underneath, okay? Making good contact. This guy needs to grab his guns a little bit better. Hopefully he jams inside. He's pretty tight inside. He's pretty tight inside. That's a good blocking drill. Notice how they have some step overs, whatever you call it, rubber step overs, just to make sure that they maintain a wide base. If you start stepping on that pad or that rubber tool, it's not good. You're going to lose balance. You're too together, just like the example I used with my man. His feet are here. He gets knocked over. You got to maintain a wide base. Okay, so engage him squared up, nose to nose. Be the hammer, not the nail. Elbows stay inside, tight to the body. And then you want to punch his numbers through his neck, right? Your body's a chain. Think of a chain, or like a dog chain, right? If I have a chain and I shake the top of the chain, what does the bottom do? It shakes. If I swing it, it starts to swing. Your body is a chain. If you stiff arm someone's head, their whole chain wants to go back. So if I can grab him here and push up through his neck, your whole body's going to want to go back. And that's what we want to do when we block, okay? So punching numbers through the neck, just like these guys. The only thing I see here that's wrong, he's got a good base. I don't know, I can't really tell if he was a hammer. But I know that he's not winning the pad level match right here, right? He's got to get lower. In order to drive up, you got to start down. You can't start up here and go up. You got to get lower than him to go up, okay? As you make contact, you have to maintain a base. I see a lot of kids, they approach beautiful. They get low, they get wide, and they make contact and their feet come here. So they hit and they get thrown to the side and the dude puts that play on their highlight film. That's just how it goes, okay? You have to maintain a low pad level, not like this guy. That's pretty damn good right here. That's obviously pretty good. It's a simple drill, but that's pretty good. You want to be lower, okay? When it comes down to making contact, we don't want to, again, we're not playing patty cake. We're not just pushing people. We're actually trying to grab their chest plate, that breastplate, right? We've all put pads on. You're really trying to grab that pad. And if you jam their chest, their pads up into their neck, pushes their neck out, they're going to fall back, right? You're winning that battle. So it's not just pushing, pressing, it's striking and grabbing, okay? Again, you want to push through his neck, up through his neck. Here's the next thing. Run your feet. I see a lot of guys, they're getting the steps. Weeks and weeks of practice, they really get it. I showed y'all the last one. All right. They get it. They approach good. Their starting stance is good. They get wide, they get low. They actually strike with a wide base, but then they don't run their feet. All right? We all know, like on King of the Hill, when y'all play that drill, King of the Hill, the guy that doesn't run his feet is going to lose. The guy that's just driving always wins, right? You're creating power. You're driving through the earth and creating momentum and power through the guy. So right here, hopefully he's just running his knees. When he engages, he's running his knees. You obviously see this guy running his knees. Maybe that guy a little bit too. It's pretty good. They got to put it all together. As you're running your feet, take the defender wherever he wants to go. Yes, we would like to get outside leverage if we're running outside, but if he shoots this way and I engage, well, let me just take him to the water coolers. Let me just kick him out the sideline. If he decides to go inside, I'm going to engage and I'm going to just wall him down. Just take him wherever he wants to go. We don't got to make it more than what it is. At the end of the day, DBs are good athletes too. They're very quick, agile, and they're strong. They work out, right? So we're not going to just be able to hit them, move them, and then do what we want with them. Unless you're Gronkowski, Rob Gronkowski, he could probably do that. All right, but for the most part, engage, keep all the mechanics, and wherever he wants to go, take him that way. Your running back will see the block, and he'll make a cut. If he doesn't, well, then get on the running back. Any questions about contact? No? Okay. A, B, C, D, and E. Desire and effort. This has nothing to do with talent, ability, football ability, size, strength, skill level, experience. This has nothing to do with that. This has to do with inside you, what that individual has inside them initially, right? There's a difference between coming in the huddle, 24 zone, get the ball, walk to the side. Already, you don't have the desire. Why? If you don't want to play, get somebody else in. Because I know that there's another guy on the team that would love to go block, love to go get in a fight. It's football, okay? We want the guy that's in there, here's 24 zone. Awesome, let's go. I'm lining up, I'm sprinting the line, I'm getting ready. I want to blow that guy up. Those are the guys you want on the field, okay? Quick little story. We all know Michael Irvin, the original number 88 for the Dallas Cowboys, right? He would tell his coach, let's do a run play, coach, the first 2 plays. I want to set the tone on the DB. I want to get in his head. I want to go get in a fight. I want to wake my body up. I want to go set the tone for the game. Not a deep fade, deep post, let's go score. Let me go whoop this guy's butt first, and then I'll go score later. Okay? You want those guys blocking for your teammates. Okay? It's more than just making plays and catching the ball. There's a lot of guys that can do that. Who wants to block when they're not getting the ball? When the ball's going the other way, who's going to hustle and cut off that safety and put that safety on his butt? Those are the guys you want on the field. Okay, you got to have the want to. They got to have it. Again, you can't really coach that. You can't really train for that. That's just got to come from within. Okay? Next up, you got to be ready for a fight. That's where effort comes into play. All right? If you don't want to fight, sit on the sideline. We'll find somebody who wants to get in that fight, because it is going to be a fight. It's not going to be easy. You're going to go up in there. You're going to get shook around a little bit like a little pit bull action. You got to want to fight. Stay in there. Stay in there tight. Okay? And obviously know your role. Do your job. If it's a run play, okay, let's run the ball. Let's get 5 yards. Let's get 15 yards. Hell, if I do my blocking right, we might break it loose for a touchdown. Okay? So again, that has nothing to do with talent. It has nothing to do with size or skill or experience. It's got to come from within. You got to want to block for your buddy. You got to want to go in that situation. There was times where I'm only 5'10", and my heaviest weight, 175 pounds. I don't know what that is in kilograms. But I would have to go inside and get a backer who's 225, 6'2". It was going to be a fight. I know that I didn't have really, on paper, I wasn't going to win the battle. But if I did my mechanics, if I did what I was supposed to do and get underneath, wide base, and be the hammer, run my feet, hell, I was going to compete for sure. And all you need is 2-3 seconds, the back's gone. Okay, so know your role, do your job. So got to have heart. I always tell my guys, play with a controlled rage. Yes, you got to be crazy to play football. We all know that. You got to love to just hit people. You got to love to. That's part of the game. If you don't like that, go play golf, go play tennis. I love those sports, but there's no contact in that game. I like hitting people. It's like a fight that you're not going to get in trouble for, right? But it's got to be under control. You can't just be a bull. Oh, I'm going to blow him up, coach. And then you miss. What was all that for? Okay, so play with a controlled rage. Got to be a man, yes, but you got to have skill and technique and mechanics, okay? So how long have we gone? About 30 minutes? Okay, so that's it. Again, I wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel and show you something totally different on how to block properly. All right? It just comes down to being mechanically sound, being disciplined to what you've been taught. Okay? Yes, we want our understand personnel, right? If we have a big, strong linebacker, someone's 6'3", 250 or something like that, don't send a guy like me to that battle. It's really not going to work out that well. Okay? But at the same time, if you have a big receiver who hates to block and doesn't want to get there and doesn't want to block for his buddy because he's not getting the ball or whatever, well, he's not going to do very good either. So there's a good quote. It says, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, right? It's the size of the fight in the dog. So know who likes to block. Know who you have on your team that's going to get in there, get dirty, go to battle for 4 or 5 seconds, get nasty, with good mechanics, with a controlled rage, and you guys have a chance to be successful in perimeter blocking, downfield blocking, and you'll see how that leads to more big runs, big run plays. Okay? And when you have a big run play, that defensive mentality, their whole demeanor just kind of goes, damn. And then you got a momentum swing. Okay? So ABCs of blocking. D&E is desire and effort. Yes, you can probably keep going on with F and G and all that stuff, but that's up to you. With that being said, any questions on stock blocking? Nope. If you guys do me a favor, if you have Instagram, follow us on Instagram, quarterback ranch wide receiver. We also have the QB_ranch for quarterbacks. And we also have QBR_ playmaker skills training, which is a lot of footwork, speed and agility, strength and conditioning, that aspect of the game too. So with that being said, that's what I have for today. It was pretty quick. If you wanted the speed and agility, like I said, I'll be here for the next couple of days. You'll see me at practice. Coach said he's going to post that up. When are you going to have that posted, Soren? Okay, so if not, you can find me around here. Don't be afraid to stop me, ask me some questions about speed and agility and what you can do or what you can do for your athletes. I train speed and agility with 4-year-olds all the way up to college guys. Right? I believe speed and agility is one of those things. If you do it properly, it's not so much, you don't really need a bunch of dead weight, working out in the weight room. Yes, we have resistant bands, med balls, things like that nature, but all you need is your body. At the end of the day, you could be 250 pounds, but if you can't move 250 pounds, what are we doing? Okay, so learn how to control your body, learn how to move your body, and you'll be successful in any sport, not just football, any sport, you'll be successful. So I also do have one more presentation. It won't be for today because then I'll go way over, but you'll see it online once we post it up, and it'll be over wide receivers, releases versus press coverage. Okay, and there's like 5 different releases that I teach. I don't give that to all my athletes. Some of them just need 1 or 2 because that's all they can handle. But my more experienced guys, I'll cover all 5 for sure. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you check the website for that video that'll come out on wide receiver releases versus press coverage. Okay?
Yeah, I have a question.
Question.
Stock blocking. What do you say? I mean, for the offensive linemen, the coaches or the blocking scheme tells them who to block, right, and how to block them, where we align our body, and where we get inside or outside leverage. As a receiver, how much do you need from a coach to kind of plan the blocking or how you're going to block the defender for you? Is that something that you make up as you go from your understanding of the play, or do you need instructions from your coaches on how to block that defender?
Yeah, so really what that comes down to is alignment, knowing the play concept, okay? And so for the most part, you watch film. We all watch film. That's, to me, the most important tool, especially the older you get. Yes, at a young age, it's more so, let's just execute what we need to do. But as you get older, we know that defenses, they line up one way and then they float to different stuff, okay? So film is key. Watch your defender. Watch what he likes to do when he's in this position, when they're in this coverage. All right, well, yeah, they might roll out. Well, then you watch film and see how they like to play out of that coverage. But for instance, let's look at this one. This play right here, okay? Let's say, for instance, they're running a bubble where this guy's going to bubble out. Well, film shows that in this coverage, right, he's got maybe deep half. He might have deep half. He might kind of come to the hook to curl, and he stays in the flats. Let's just say that's what happens. Or it might be a cover 4 where he bails out. He's got half the field, and he's got the flats to himself. Play concept. We're trying to run the bubble. We're trying to get the ball outside. Okay, so we definitely need these 2 guys to get on a body. We have 2 guys that are outside. If we can get on him, we have a chance, because then that means that this guy's left to trail him or try to get in through all that mix of blocking to try to make the play on him. So film, knowing the playing concept will tell you who to block. It's not like you go in there blind like, hey, buddy, you get him and I'm going to get him. No, you still have your key. So as coaches, we need to know what we're facing, what type of defense we're facing out of what formation we're in. And then you tell your guys, hey, if he's up in this formation, cover 4, press cover 4, I want you to get on him. We don't need to make anything special out of it. You just get big and go get him, and I need you to drop a pair and go get him. That's all it is. So to answer your question is, know the play concept, what you're trying to do with the football, know where you're trying to get, inside, outside, off tackle, whatever. And then film is going to tell you how they like to play, what defense they like to line up in, and then you can tell your guys, hey, outside my X, you're going to get the corner on this play. My A back, I need you to, or H back, I need you to get him. Plain and simple. You don't got to make it crazy. Now, for instance, say we're running for the most part, say we're running a bubble, yeah, I would just want this guy to man up on him, and let's force these guys to get out in space and go chase our athlete who's probably quick and shifty, who's outside already, and try to get them to make a play. Now let's say we're running a quick dart, like a quick hitch, to where he takes a step up and then he looks right back for the ball. Okay? Well, obviously we're trying to get the ball outside again, and we have 2 press guys. Yes, one step he takes might get the DB to take a step back or 2, but as soon as he recognizes it's a screen, they're going to come screaming up. So what we could do is, for timing purposes, or if we know that this guy is not a very good tackler, he's not very strong and physical, he's more of a good coverage guy, and we know that, yes, they line up like this, but film shows that as soon as we snap the ball, he just bails. Film shows that, right? Know who you're playing. Watch the film. So let's say, for instance, he likes to bail out, and this guy likes to play real heavy. Why? He has the flats, cover 4, right? He's got deep. We don't need to necessarily worry about them, but he's got flats. So what you could do, we called it kill. You can have whatever word you want to have for it, whatever. We used to call it kill. So we know that he's getting the ball. He's taking 1 step up. That's going to force this guy to bail out because film shows that. This guy plays real aggressive. He's a dangerous man. If anything, he can ruin the play. And again, this guy, by the time he recognizes it's a quick dart, that's a lot of room to cover. That's a lot of space for him to cover. So we would call kill. This guy would look at him and say, hey, kill. So we're still lining up, and all that means is I'm going to take him, and I want you to take a flat, again, knowing your alignment and take a good angle. He's going to come flat off of his butt. And once he recognizes, he's going to come and make the play, and he's kicking him out. You don't have to call it that way, but if film shows that, hey, it'll probably work better, I need you to get on him now, and we're going to have you, don't worry about him. Let's just go blindside this guy as he bails out. He sees it's a quick dart. He's coming in. Well, here comes that 3 receiver, and then boom, and we have the ball running right between those 2 blocks. Okay, so again, simplify the answer. Watch film to know what the defense does in that formation, what type of coverage they like to do in a formation, and depending on how they play, know your personnel, you tell the guys who to block. You might have one of those calls where, hey, let's switch it, let's kill it, where we cross block. If not, let's just go to battle straight up. Take whoever needs to go. Any other questions? Nope. All right, well, that's my presentation for today. Appreciate it.